Good morning. Continuing our discussion of Christology, we move to a sixth piece that is a presupposition, or we've called them prolegomena, words beforehand. And here is the word beforehand that we need to note. Christ is the great dividing point among worldviews. Great dividing point among worldviews. This is important for you to get your mind around, okay? That Christianity is utterly distinct from other worldviews, and in that it's rooted in a kind of approach to life that's oriented around grace, that's oriented around God extending and seeking people, God inviting them into a loving relationship with Him. At the same time, God satisfying His justice, not at the expense of that love, but in fulfillment of that love. And so Jesus forms the great division in terms of separating Christianity from other worldviews. So what I want to do is just give you, over the next couple of days, some worldviews that Jesus separates from, so to speak. Here's one. Jesus separates Christianity from naturalism. So naturalism is the idea that the world is comprised of just material parts, and those material parts function according to material means, and they march forward. Now, naturalism, of course, gave rise to a number of pieces in science and philosophy, and even psychology. So B.F. Skinner's behavioral therapy is rooted in naturalism. If you change the mechanisms of your behavior and habituate new mechanisms long enough, they'll overtake old mechanisms or replace bad mechanisms, and you as a natural creature will be rewired. Even Newton, who was no naturalist in the sense of a modern naturalist, he was actually a theist, but his approach in terms of physics and so forth lent itself to natural laws and their consequences and so forth. And certainly Darwin, when it came to biology and evolution, and particularly evolution not as a theologically guided kind of machinery, but evolution as a kind of methodological, naturalistic function of deterministic consequences in the natural world that just left biology dictating things, left us with what amounts to the ethical implications that Nietzsche picked up on, and certainly we saw walked out in World War II in particular, but this idea of the survival of the fittest. The fittest sacrifices, in a sense, for no one, because the fittest is the one who survives. Now here's the thing. The gospel flips that around. Christ flips that around. Instead, the fittest, God Himself, the fittest, the incarnated God is the perfect man, Jesus, God the Son, sacrifices. Remember John 15:13? Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends. And that's the very thing He did in the gospel. So Jesus flips the script on naturalism and is over against it, because He shows us that the greatest thing you can do is to give yourself, not to survive, but to give yourself in sacrifice for another. So we revel in that, because in our weakness then He's made strong. We don't have to focus on trying to be the strongest. Instead, we can lay ourselves down. That's granted to us in a Christian worldview. May the Lord bless you today.